Okay, Jason says he's gonna hit me with a doozy. I have no idea what it is, bro. So go ahead.
Well, it's a question. Now we're 2 to 3 weeks into the new Trump administration, and Doge has been working overtime.
Yeah,
Exposing corruption at its core. I haven't watched a lot of news, but I see it on iFunny. And in those few times that I've looked at the mainstream media, they're always pointing their finger at Elon Musk and who hired him.
Yeah.
Now, how come nobody has taken onus of the fraud, waste, and abuse that they've found in just this very short period of time? What say you?
That's a good question. Well, because they all got their fingers in it.
So, but who doesn't see that now, right? We all suspected it.
Well, yeah, but of the ones that are making the most noise are the lefties who all have something to lose.
Oh, and let's not throw out the righties that have something. You think Mitch McConnell is one of the biggest swamp rats?
Okay, fair enough.
Left and right.
Yeah, okay, so let's just say bureaucrats in D.C.
Yep.
They all got something to lose. And I think when they start to dig deeper into this U.S. aid bullshit, that they're going to find a lot more connections to Washington, D.C. than anybody cares to know. Transgender plays in Ethiopia or whatever it was, and the migration patterns of penguins in Kenya, whatever the hell.
Did you see the one with the shrimp on a treadmill? I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit.
Come on. A shrimp on a treadmill?
Hand to God. There was money being spent on how fast the shrimp can move, and they built a treadmill and had like this ghost shrimp running on it. I mean, okay, and that's where we differ on things. I say only 150,000, but I have to assume this wasn't the first year they've been working on it. No. Right?
I don't think when we're talking about these things that only goes in front of any of it.
None of it.
If it's $100, it's asinine. It's asinine.
As we are $36 trillion in debt.
Yes.
We are bringing Burton Ernie to the streets of Iraq.
Yeah.
I mean, if that isn't hearts and minds.
Them some bitches, no, man. Their foam is going to melt.
What do you think the names of Burton Ernie should be in Iraq?
Muhammad and Muhammad. That's what, of course, that's what it's going to be.
Burt Muhammad, Ernie Muhammad.
No, Muhammad, and Muhammad.
Have we just kind of turned the tail right into that? What was it?
And their birthday is going to be January 1st of whatever year they decide it's going to be.
Durka, Muhammad Jihad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We should just send them a video
Team America.
Of Team America. Dude, it's amazing to me. I saw a clip of Maxine Waters yelling at a man that was working security to a door that apparently had been open to the public that nobody cared about. But now they were not given access.
Yeah.
Was that Department of Education or something?
Could have been.
Was it Ty?
Yeah.
Ty, yeah.
That was the next thing on the list.
That's why we got Ty for fact checks, because he pays attention and recalls everything.
Yeah.
I might get the state right, but anything beyond that. And I just giggled. Because now they're talking about, well, we'll sit here as long as you're going to sit here. And this guy's just trying to do his job, number one, right? And so he's just, okay. Like, you're not taking away their birthday. But what are you so concerned about? Again, you've never discussed once the fact that Department of Education has existed, 40 years? Something like that? Or 50 years? I don't even know. Well, whatever. Post-World War II, we know that for sure. And we have gone from the pinnacle to the barnacle.
Yeah,
in education standards. And they're bitching and complaining that we shouldn't be touching it. I think when something is broken, you need to fix it.
Or at least audit it.
1979.
So not that long.
46 years it's existed, and we've taken this downward trajectory.
We went from being at the top of some of these lists of being educated to fucking litter boxes in the bathrooms, dude.
Right? To acceptable butt plug day.
Ugh.
And
I'm so glad my kids are out of school. Sorry.
Well, and here I said. But that's why we school where we school.
Yeah, right.
But I think it should give everybody a moment for pause. And those of us in the veteran community, like we've seen fraud, waste, and abuse in everything that we've ever done.
Yeah.
From if you're a reserve component person, throwing away MREs, or guys taking boxes of MREs home because nobody wants to eat them, rather than just put them back in the storeroom because you're just not going to get them next year. You're allocated this many, burn them up, to burning up tens of thousands of rounds on a range. Now think that has been happening everywhere.
You know what the biggest waste of government money that I was ever involved in was?
What was that?
Chem lights.
Dude, I think
Chem
that was the
lights.
most fun ever given.
Dude, we would go, okay, so 2005 to 07, when I was in Iraq, we did a shit ton of convoy missions.
Yep.
And I was a gunner, mostly in the scout truck. And it was our job to mark hazards in the road when we moved at night. So every mission, just one way north, I think I had 250 chem lights, right? I would peel them open, put them in an ammo can, so I could grab one, crack it, toss it this way. Grab one, crack it, toss it this way to mark potholes or debris or
stuff.
Like the Christmas tree IED chains or whatever. Yeah. And then I found out that the United States Army was paying like $3.80 a piece.
No.
Yeah. And the PX, they were charging like $2.50 for them. The same exact ones.
We should have been selling chem
Yeah,
lights.
dude. I threw thousands of them in the year and a half we were there.
Dude, we had fun with chem light night because I remember one of us got a fan.
Oh dear.
And we were probably
dear.
The midpoint, so maybe we were 8 or 9 months into that deployment. And Joe, Chach, any of you guys are listening, you all remember this. It devolved into this epic rave in a GP medium.
A bunch of sweaty guys.
Dude, just a bunch of dopes that just got done with a hard day, and one person just popped the cap. And it wasn't me. I wish I could have been the one that started this. Maybe it was Cheddar Todd, excuse me. Bob was from the movie. And he flicked this chem light, and a bit of it shot up, hit this fan that was blowing down on us. And everybody had a little color. Within 30 fucking seconds, there were hundreds of chem lights strewn about the inside of this GP medium.
$3.50 a piece, baby.
At $3.50, and of course they say non-toxic, but there's no way you can create something that glows that doesn't do some kind of damage. So maybe this is part of the reason I'm so muffed up.
It was in your eyes and
dude,
everything.
I remember walking out of that thing, and it was, green, the pinks, the yellows. You opened the tent door, and it like glowed out. There was so much liquid.
Wow.
Now, for those of you that have ever cracked one open, the smell is a bit much.
Yes.
But in that moment, in those probably 5 minutes, it was the most fun we had in months.
Got to do it, man.
But then your skin starts to burn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's non-toxic, though.
Then shit gets real.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause now you've got 6 dudes running around trying to find bottles of water and poke holes in them. We're all stripped down naked at this point. We look like glowing fobbits running around, dangling wang everywhere we go, trying to wash that shit off. And then it burns your back because you can touch everything else. So now you've got like 6 dudes trying to clean off each other's backs. And now everybody's out and they're noticing what we've done.
Can you imagine like the Predator drone up there taking surveillance, seeing all you hunyucks running around all glowing and shit in the night?
We're so sick. And I do it again to this day.
Absolutely.
I would do that maybe that's one of our planned videos, but just chem lights.
We played baseball with chem lights when we were waiting for convoys. The axe handle.
Yeah.
And we would just pitch up chem lights and hit it. And before long, of course, they bust open, so there's juice everywhere. But
dude,
we did some dumb shit, man.
Right. Well,
I hope some of you are watching that I served with. If you remember Nutball, we used to remember the old hacky sacks
Yeah.
with like the big ass beads in them?
Sepas.
Yeah. With the leather.
Yeah.
And so we came up with this game we called it Super Pelt. And we were playing it at JRTC down in Louisiana in our barracks. And we stood like 30 feet away from each other. And the only thing you could do was hold your hand over your junk. You had to wear your safety goggles from your helmet.
I'd take 5 for safety.
Yep. And then hold your other hand out. And the other guy got to whip it at you as hard as he could. And if he hits you, you get one chance to get him back or you're out. And so we spent hours whipping these hacky sacks at each other. And then, they hit the ground and they hit the wall and there's tiles and all this other shit. And the pillars were coming apart. The next morning after we'd been playing this for hours, we couldn't go anywhere. They told us we couldn't go anywhere. We got to wait for to get our field issue or whatever the hell it was. So they come in the next morning. We're doing barracks maintenance. And they're like, whoa, 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 no sweeping in here. What do you mean? Well, the place is full of asbestos. You can't sweep. Mop only.
Mop only.
What are you talking about? We've been whipping hacky sacks and busting pieces off the walls and all kinds of shit for 2 days. It was unbelievable. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast.
Ooh,
and pelts everywhere.
Do you have any other games that you guys played?
We played nutball.
Nutball?
Yeah, where we sit about 10 feet away, spread eagle, and you take a Gatorade bottle about a third full.
Okay.
We came up with a whole scoring scheme.
Okay.
And you flip and try to hit each other in the junk. If you hit shaft, it's a point. If you hit nuts, it's 2 points. If you hit shaft and nuts, it's 3 points. If you flinch when the bottle's coming in, it's a rethrow, whether they hit you in the junk or not.
No way.
Oh yeah, it was brutal. We had brackets, all kinds of shit. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, we're creative.
Well, I have to say, I mean, on deployments, I think Jackass, the movie, would have even blushed at some of the things that we did.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's things that we probably shouldn't talk. I think people would not like us to share.
I can't. We never hit each other in the sack with anything.
Yeah, it got to be old quick.
Now, how long have you guys been there until your mind took you to this place where the idea was to inflict
Nutball?
pain?
We never played it in Iraq.
That's what I'm saying. How long were you there, like in cantonment in Louisiana, until it got to the point where you were done now just welting each other? Now you were going to hit one of the most sensitive areas on one's body.
Okay, well,
with a third filled, I'm assuming 16-ounce Gatorade.
It was the big one, yeah.
It was the big one.
The fat one.
The big 32-ounce.
Oh yeah, it flips better. You have a better chance.
I suppose, and I mean,
you have a better chance of hitting nut and shaft.
Throw mortars to throw the big dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truth be told, Jason, Nutball was developed way before JRTC, probably 2 weeks into Camp Shelby.
Okay.
Super Pelt, where we were hitting each other with hacky sacks, was developed at JRTC because the PX there sold the good hacky sacks, and I think we each bought one or two because they were coming apart. Beads were everywhere, so that's what we were trying to sweep up. Was all the beads. But we had surely ingested a bunch of asbestos before we were told not to sweep.
Yeah, but everything seems good, health-wise.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well,
as good as the VA lets us be, I guess.
I gotta love how Doge brought us to nuts.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, to get back to it before we end. The thing I find most interesting about what Doge and Elon and his little computer guys are doing is that all these bureaucrats are going absolutely insane about his access. He's got a top secret clearance already. He's specially appointed by the president. He has no more access than he was granted. And they're finding hundreds of thousands, if not millions, and up into billions of dollars of waste and fraud. And they're all pissed about him finding it. They're not going, well, why the fuck are we wasting all this money?
No.
Why are we wasting the taxpayers' money? Instead, the conversation every morning in the headlines is Elon Musk is not our president.
Yeah,
Well,
he doesn't have standing.
but he's the one that's showing you where our money is going. And that's what you hate him for?
I saw a clip of one of them, and I don't know the name, but one of these senators came out and said, he's doing our job. We've done a pretty shitty job. If these are the fruits of your labor for however long you've been in office, and you haven't spent 1 second to figure out where this money was going.
Yeah.
You know, not that I think our senators need to be our actuarial components to the governance, but the fact that we've never had true accountability for expenditures at a time where we have the greatest debt we've ever seen.
Agreed.
What a joke. This is awesome. I fire up the popcorn.
And then as Trump says, when he's standing, President Trump, when he's standing in front of a camera, he looks at the camera and says, this is what you voted me in for. And he's 1,000% right. This is what the majority of the country asked him to do. Find out where's our money? Where's it going? I, for one, am super happy. Find all of it.
I would love we continually hear every year that these big government agencies fail their audits. They fail this, they fail that.
Yeah. Including the
unfunded
DOD.
this, and of course the DOD.
Yeah.
But any organization that large, right? That's just kind of become the status quo. Is, well, I mean, if we can get to 90%, well, nobody else can get to 90%. You have to be accountable for everything. And just their accountability was one aspect of it that they couldn't even get to. Now you're going from accountability to understanding of expenditures, right? So that's like when you bring it to your accountant and you tell them, oh yeah, I took in 100,000, here's 90,000, we'll call this 10,000 good. Well, the next step is, well, of those $90,000, what was spent for this? What was spent for that? What was spent for this? We've never done that second tier, or I've never heard of it. Not that it doesn't happen. But think if we could find this at the federal level. Well, think these great state leaders that are out there. You know, at a time where the state that we hail from is talking about cutting some taxes, which is just a shell game because they're cutting from one area where it doesn't really count or help anybody. And then they're adding it to other areas that we have to spend real money on. Well, it's going to be a winner for them. There's going to be more money coming in.
Yeah.
But again, we're not asking them to be accountable. And I would say, if you are in politics, go ask the question. Get a piece of legislation written that's meaningful that says, in order for you to get funded, show us where the money was spent. If you're not going to put up your own Doge type organization at the state level, you should.
Yeah.
And you should go to your city and demand it. Go to your city and go see what your city spends its money on.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We own and operate a nonprofit. If we don't keep our records and we don't account for every dime like it's supposed to be, and we don't keep this and that and everything else the way they tell us, and we get audited, what happens to us?
There's going to be hell to pay.
They shut you down. They fine you. All kinds of shit. But the same government that'll shut our nonprofit down for making a mistake, and we unaccounted for $3, or we forgot to take these notes and put this paperwork into there, or whatever, an honest mistake. Well, we're screwed. But our government only has to be 90% accountable.
Yeah, just the first layer, 90%. You know, just think about what we're actually seeing.
Man,
this is incredible. This is like when you give your kid an allowance. What'd you buy? I do it. I know I ask.
Do you think that, I think when they're done with all these audits all across the government, they're going to be able to account for, our debt should probably be closer to 25 trillion.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
I'm just like off the top of my head, the amount of money they're finding in just one, I bet there's the reason for this massive debt increase is all of this shit.
Well, right. Well,
the wokeness.
And we've talked about it. Why is it always when government has to cut some funding, they go to like the big five? We're going to have to cut Medicare. We're going to have to cut, the
Social Security.
state. Yeah, Social Security, law enforcement, fire, whatever. They always pick those. And I think we've all wondered, well, that's not even a big chunk of the budget. That's a hefty portion. But what about this? Basically, it's your foo money, your outside expenditure cash. Like, where is that going? If we have to cut fire, what is more important than the police? What's more important than the fire? What's more important than Social Security? What's more important? You're prioritizing, and that's what the government has been so great at, is playing that shell game to prioritize these bullshit expenditures at the expense of each and every one of us and the services we should be given.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if it's the USPS, the VA, or any of these places. You should be accountable for your money. And I don't think that they're going to have huge problems in like the organizational things. It'll always be the foo spend.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to find. Because an employee costs what an employee costs. And nobody would ever argue that. And you never say, oh, you got to cut it. If there's extra money, you cut that first. No business starts laying off people without cutting out expenditures outside of employees.
Agreed. Yeah.
But the government does it all the time, right? That's like their big game. Oh, we can't walk away from that contract on that building because, so-and-so owns it. And even though we're going to shut all that down, we're going to get rid of all these people, we're still going to keep the building. Well, you should have gotten rid of the building. You've already proved that you can work remotely. Did you really need those people? And I think that's the whole thing that we're watching, is once one piece starts to move, it's going to keep rolling. And this is going to expose a ton of just waste, just absolutely unnecessary waste. And there's going to be people affected by it. I'm sure that those people that were being paid for that shrimp study, can you imagine the money?
Jogging shrimp?
Maybe you make, $150,000 watching shrimp. Like, dude, that'd be a pretty sweet gig. I'd take it.
You'd be bored out of your mind.
For $150,000, I can be pretty bored to watch shrimp run on a treadmill.
I don't know, bro. I think you could do it for a couple months, and then you'd be building a better, newer, bigger treadmill.
Well, there'd be many shrimp on different treadmills, and we'd be betting on it. But I'd have the extra money to be able to do so. So I'm sorry for those people that get taken out during this process, but understand that it needs to occur.
Well, hold on a second. I'm not sorry. Who the hell really honestly thinks that they're going to maintain a job in the federal government measuring how fast fucking shrimp move? And why is that important to humanity at all?
It's not.
Why? Well, who the hell said, hey, this is a really good idea. We should study this. Who is the guy or gal that was like, hey, you know how fast shrimp move? No? You want to? Hey, USAID, we want to know how fast shrimp move. Oh, yeah, you'll give us $150,000. Oh, $1 million? Yeah. Hey, we're going to get $1 million to find out how fast shrimp move on a treadmill.
But you're going to tell me if the same
Jesus
opportunity
Christ.
did not come to you and I, where they're like, hey, Rich, Jay, we want to find out how fast shrimp can run. We've got $1 million budget. Dude, I'd be building that treadmill so fast.
You know what I'm measuring?
What's that?
How fast different types of shrimp run from my throat out of my ass into the toilet.
About 17.5 seconds.
Well, it depends on the seasoning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or is it scampi? Is it shrimp cocktails? Are we talking fried shrimp?
You go down the Bubba.
Yeah, we're gonna get Bubba's list out, and we're gonna measure each one's digestive cycle. Okay, that's a better use of that money than seeing how fast they run. Who gives a shit?
But if you're in the shrimp speed betting business, this is good information to have.
You need a different line of work if you're in the shrimp speed betting business.
Well,
Say that four
if you
times
knew how
fast.
fast a shrimp could run, and you were trawling shrimp, now you've got the advantage. This money was spent on behalf of big shrimp.
This is a ridiculous conversation.
Yes, it is. Well, that's it. Doge, go do your thing.
Yes, and thank you.
And
Thank you for what you're doing, because we want to know this stuff. And the American people deserve to know this stuff.
we all should. With the number of people that are reliant on real government services, Doge should be a welcome addition to this country.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine if we can save a couple $1 trillion and all of a sudden some of these benefits for people that really need them become a little more fruitful and make you a little more able to plant roots somewhere and support your family and grow instead of having meager, keep you in poverty, right? I don't know, man. I think that it's a whole nother show.
Well, hopefully the net result of this, though, is more money in everybody's pockets. Because when the government doesn't have to spend, they don't need to take. I mean, yeah, we say we pay our taxes, but they take our taxes.
Yeah.
It's just happening, and that's fine. It's where we're at right now. But just knowing that the potential is on the horizon for more money in our pockets, for fewer expenditures on unnecessary things, and then hearing about, people that are on Medicare that can't get a wheelchair because there's not enough money in the kitty. Well, there's going to be money in the kitty. And that's what we all need to focus on.
Yeah, and then Medicare won't take them. Here's Medicare won't take them back.
Well, no, yeah, okay.
That's crazy to me.
It is an absolute farce. But think of the people that can't get them now because there's no money. Once there is money, and then we just get smart. Well, maybe there's our next nonprofit.
Getting wheelchairs?
We'll go partner up with another organization that's already doing it, because I know there's a lot of great organizations out there that collect up that medical stuff, that get it to the people in need. But to kind of shine a light on that, especially in the VA community, because there's a lot of it that happens there where people don't have the resources to be able to back up what the VA doesn't cover.
Yeah.
And I think the VA does a great job of getting you, you're going to get the Jeep, but you might not get the Jeep with the model or the accessories.
It's wheels.
Need. Right, so maybe that's going to be one of those things we'll be able to do, and if we can get that story out, it'll just be a wonderful bookend to this amazing Doge.
Yeah, I'm with that. That sounds like a good plan.
So that's it.
Keep doing your thing, fellas. Elon, keep those computer nerds cooking. We love it. Deuces from the what are we calling the studio? What is it? The 3-Click Studio. We need your help.
That's what we need.
We need your help to name the studio. If you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, comment, share, skywrite it in the air, whatever it is that you want to do to support us. But also, leave a comment and give us ideas on what to name the studio.
I love it.
Might be cool. All right. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.